Hello and welcome to SBR Videos. I'm sports handicapper Ian Cameron, and we are going to take a look at a Friday night matchup between American League division leaders. We've got the Baltimore Orioles facing the Kansas City Royals, and what should be a terrific matchup here early in the season and in the month of April, and a good litmus test for both of these squads. And we have a very interesting pitching matchup, and I'm glad that we get to talk about this game because, boy, I have some pretty good betting opinions on this matchup tonight between the Orioles and Royals in ways that I think we can make some money and profit from this game. One of the things that I've looked at throughout the course of the season here in the first month is fading Yovani Gallardo whenever I've had the opportunity. In fact, you might remember in one of our previous SBR videos, I recommended an over-the-total wager in Yovani Gallardo's last start, which took place against Texas last Saturday. That game did go over the total, a winning ticket if you were able to tune into that video. And I'm following a very similar path tonight with Yovani Gallardo as he takes on the Kansas City Royals. I mean, the Baltimore Orioles, basically in desperation mode, just trying to fill out their starting rotation, decided, let's sign Yovani Gallardo, see what he's got, and see if he can be a legitimate person in this rotation in terms of getting things done and maybe still being able to pitch at a pretty good level. That has not really happened. I mean, my issues with Yovani Gallardo go back to spring training when he got really hit hard in exhibition play. He had some concerns about his shoulder not being proper early in the spring, and really the struggles that Yovani Gallardo endured in spring training, they carried over into the regular season. And there's a lot of red flags that I see right now with Gallardo. I see diminished velocity. I see the number of swings and misses that opponents have against his stuff is going down dramatically. And you look at the way he pitched last time out against the Texas Rangers, 4 runs on 8 hits in 6 innings, and he was getting hit hard. There were tons of line drives. He was very fortunate in some of that game. Line drives getting hit right at defenders in the outfield for catches. But really, if the outfielders weren't in the position they were in, they could have been extra base hits against Gallardo. So he is really having trouble. He's getting hit hard, and I don't like the fact either. He's averaging over 17 pitches per inning. He's laboring, it seems, in most innings with guys on base, struggling to get out of trouble. And just a lot of problem signs that I see for Gallardo heading into this matchup. And what makes it even worse for him here, he's facing a Kansas City lineup. All they do is take quality at bats, put the ball in play. They're patient. They're disciplined. They're going to see some pitches, draw some walks if Gallardo has some issues with that pitch count, which has been an issue for him in previous starts. And I think the Kansas City lineup, with their discipline at the plate, is going to have a fair share of success tonight against Yovani Gallardo and maybe be able to get to him early. It wouldn't surprise me to see Gallardo at some point, just completely fall off this Baltimore rotation. I think there's very, very big-time concerns that we have for Gallardo, and he's still very much a bet against pitcher for me, including tonight. But the problem is going to be Chris Young on the other side, getting the start here for the Kansas City Royals. He has pitched better at Kauffman Stadium than on the road. That's the good news, but I still have some issues with him. He's facing a Baltimore lineup that is loaded with home run hitters up and down their lineup. Manny Machado can hit it out of the park. Adam Jones, Chris Davis, Matt Wieters, the catcher, has some home run power, and Chris Young has struggled with allowing the go for ball early in the campaign. He's allowed 12 runs on 20 hits and 13.2 innings of work this season, and 3 home runs allowed as well. Young struggles with keeping the ball in the park early in the season. That could be a very, very troubling matchup for him here against Baltimore, a team that's ranked second right now in Major League Baseball in home runs in the first month of the season. So you got a pitcher that's given up the home run ball against a lineup that's been hitting the home run ball at a pretty solid clip here in the month of April. So the Orioles should be able to score their share of runs in this game. And Baltimore's bullpen, in their last series against the Toronto Blue Jays, they had a lot of their key relievers in that series. When you think of Darren O'Day, the sidewinder, when you think of the closer, Zach Britton, a lot of these guys worked multiple games in that series against Toronto. So there could be some fatigue in that Baltimore bullpen. I'm not even sure if they're going to have their entire allotment of these top-tier relievers, specifically their setup guy and their closer, available for this game because of the workload they had to endure against Toronto. So that Baltimore bullpen could be a little bit vulnerable here in the latter stages of this game, maybe giving up some runs and open the door for Kansas City maybe to strike late in the game and score some runs as well. So, this total opened at 9. It's come down to 8.5. I think it's the wrong move, in my opinion. I'm going to look to play this game over the total of 8.5 runs. And I'm also going to look toward the Kansas City Royals side in this game. Minus 125 is pretty much the prevailing number that you can get with the Royals in this game. I do have concerns with Chris Young, as I mentioned, in terms of the starting pitching matchup, but the Royals bullpen just continues to do their thing. They've been dominant once again so far in the first month of the season. And with Baltimore's bullpen having some question marks in terms of availability, and after so many of their key relievers worked multiple days in the Toronto series, the Royals could have an advantage in terms of being a fresher bullpen, and obviously it's been a tremendously performing bullpen once again so far here in April. So I'm going to recommend side and total in this game. Kansas City, minus 125. We're going to lay the moderate price, and we're also going to play this game over the total of 8.5 runs, and expect both teams to be able to have their fair share of offensive success in this game. And if you've got availability for 5 inning lines that you're the book that you play at, whether it's Las Vegas or offshore, if they give you 5 inning lines, maybe the first 5 innings over the total with the 2 starters, definitely suspect to give up runs in this game. That could be worth a look in this game as well tonight. So there's my betting preview for Baltimore, Kansas City, a great American League matchup here on Friday night. This is Ian Cameron for SBR Videos. Enjoy the games and good luck.